Shri Matre Namaha. Om. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ananta Sansara Samudratara Naukaidabhyam Guru Bhaktidabhyam Vairagya Samrajya Dapujanabhyam Namo Namaha Shri Guru Padukabhyam. Salutations to the Padukas of my reverential Guru, which help me to cross the infinite, endless ocean of life like a boat, which endows me with the sense of devotion to my Guru, and by my worship I attain the domain of renunciation. Atma tvam girijamati sahachara prana shariram graham puja te vishayopabhogarachana nidra samadhi stitihi sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरो यत् कर्म करोमि तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनम्. Lord Shiva, you are my soul. Devi Girija, Mata Parvati, is my mind, the intellect. My 5 pranas, sensory organs, are your attendant, and my body is your home. All the pleasures of my senses are objects to your worship. My sleep is your meditation. My walking and every movement is your pradakshina. And everything I say is your prayer, and everything I do is your devotion. So, in the last chapter, we had seen how Hemalekha had summoned her husband, Hemachura, and told him the story of the maidservant and her sons. And then she goes about to say that for everything that we hold an opinion for, we should validate it through the scriptures. And we had ended it on the note where Hemachura is asking her that scriptures belonging to different philosophical schools could have different interpretation. So why should we not rely on those statements that come from our own mind? Because validating it through scriptural injunction is something that he could not understand very clearly. Also, the story of Hemalekha and the maidservants and the sons and their sons was not too very clear to him. However, he understood that if she were to say something, it must hold some water, some ground to it. Thus, he asks her to further consider his question and help him understand clearly. So chapter 7 is talking about contemplation and different methods of worship that Hemalekha goes ahead and explains about. At the quest of her husband, Hemalekha, who knew the mystery of the universe, continued explaining, O beloved, compose yourself with reverential attention. I will answer your questions. The mind is like a monkey, jumping incessantly. Because of such a mind, people ordinarily get caught in damaging activities. A scattered mind is the cause of pain. The mind in deep sleep is without contents and is a cause of pleasant experiences. Please listen to me with one pointed mind. That which is heard by a disgusted mind is as good as not heard at all, like a tree in a painting that cannot bear fruit. When a person abandons mere logic and begins believing in his own convictions, he gains the desired fruits. Therefore, one should practice sadhana with the help of pure reason. After attaining faith, born of pure reason, a person achieves everything here and now. Oh dear, renounce this useless logic. All the activities of this universe are based on Shraddha, firm faith, and Shraddha alone is helpful. With determination, at the right time, the farmer tills the land, similarly discarding the useless uncertainty of the mind, and by having faith, people make decisions regarding the value of silver, gold, gems, and medicine. One should be aware of one's ultimate goal, as the scriptures explain, and then make sincere efforts on the path of sadhana. Logic is without foundation. Unlike Sunga, one should not abandon his duty. Effort made with firm faith never fails. How can one miss the goal if he is working with firm faith and making sincere efforts? With faith and effort, farmer grows crops, businessmen earn money, kings vanquish enemies, intellectuals study, laborers work, the gods drink ambrosia, and meditators realize the absolute. Nothing can be achieved without sincere effort. Think carefully and tell me, has anyone without faith, who does not think reasonably, ever attained the desired goal? A man who has a skeptical nature and is without conviction can never receive the desired fruits of his action. He is his own enemy. One must have immense faith supported by right reasoning and sincere effort if he is to select the means for attaining the highest good. Make use of the means you have. There are various methods for attaining the goal. Whatever you feel to be appropriate, consider that to be the way for yourself, according to the scriptures and one's own experience. One should start practicing sadhana. I will tell you these secrets. Please listen to me attentively. That which removes sorrows should be considered the highest good. If one observes subtly, he will find sorrow everywhere in the world. That which is mingled with sorrow cannot be the highest good. Wealth, son, wife, kingdom, treasure, strength, fame, worldly knowledge, intellect, and physical beauty are all impermanent. All these objects are deadly, as if located in the mouth of a poisonous snake. Because of attachment to wealth and other objects of the world, there is delusion. Delusion arises out of attachment. Attachment leads to misery. The highest good is not born out of the delusion arising from wealth and other worldly objects. Maheshwara is the cause of the universe, but because of attachment, people are not aware of that. Even a magician deludes people through his skills. but his power is limited. He cannot fool everyone. If ordinary people cannot see through the illusion conjured by a magician of limited power, then who can cross the mire of delusion created by Maheshwara, the Supreme Lord? One who knows how to be free from illusion gets freedom from it. He can lead a perfectly healthy life and thus obtain all the joys. But that knowledge through which joy is obtained is not possible without grace. Without the grace of Maheshwara, how can the mire of delusion be crossed? Therefore, his grace is the most essential. After being blessed by him and attaining Mahavidya, the supreme knowledge, through his grace, one can cross the mire of delusion. Advanced techniques of pranayama and other yogic practices are described in the scriptures as a means for attaining supreme knowledge. But without the grace of Maheshwara, they cannot lead to the final goal. Therefore, one should gain the profound knowledge of the Absolute. This knowledge enables yogic sadhana to remove delusion. Though no one has seen its emergence, the universe seems to be the work of someone. It is made of parts, and some intelligence must have brought it into existence. The origin of this universe is deep and profound. Therefore, it is subject to investigation with the help of a purified mind and the sayings of the Holy Scriptures. With the help of these, one knows that the cause of the universe is not comparable to anything else. Although some scriptures and philosophers say that this universe came into existence without cause, these arguments are invalidated by authoritative scriptures. Sensory evidence does not lead anywhere. It will certainly never lead to liberation, and great men do not heed such evidence. Those scriptures that support such a theory need to be denounced. Texts that profess mere logic should be discarded because logic alone cannot lead to liberation. Some philosophers think the universe is without beginning and end. This cannot be true because material objects are insentient. Yet, all actions are initiated by a conscious principle. Without consciousness, there can be no activity. According to most scriptures, this conscious principle is the primal cause of the manifestation of the world. Thus, both the scriptures and discrimination reveal that this universe is an effect of the activity of the conscious principle, Maheshwara. He, the doer, is separate from all worldly objects. The nature of the universe is indescribable, for it is vast, a heaven of unimaginable diversities. Therefore, the conscious principle or primal doer is indestructible and has unlimited power and capacities. He is the source of all power and therefore can lead all seekers. He is the way. I want to elaborate this point by giving an example, said Hemalekha. When employers are pleased with the honest service of their employees, they reward them accordingly. The Lord of the universe is full of compassion, and all the desires of his devotees are fulfilled. A true seeker is desireless. Rich people are generally greedy, ungrateful, and lack compassion. Whatever is obtained from them is trivial and short-lived. But the merciful Lord, who is all compassionate, is blissful. His grace is everlasting. The fruits received from such sadhana do not decay. If God is not like this, how could he remain unblemished? How could this universe be so well regulated? The countries of the kings, whose administrations are not well managed, fall apart, but the universe runs smoothly and seems well organized by the grace of the compassionate Lord. There are two methods used by seekers for attaining the absolute reality: having desires and being desireless. Those who surrender themselves without any hesitation are guided by providence. Among many approaches to realizing God, the first is to remove the obstacles, the second is to gain the means, and the third is complete dedication and self surrender. Self surrender is the surest of all methods. People of the world worship God to fulfill their desires. As a result, their mundane desires are fulfilled. However, the worship should be sattvic. Sometimes they commit mistakes in their way of worship and become indifferent. Therefore, such aspirants laden with desires receive limited fruits, or the fruits remain uncertain. But one who performs his worship selflessly gains mastery over all worldly objects. The ignorant do not know the higher worship of desirelessness, but the Lord, being omnipresent, is the governor of everyone's heart. He knows everything and gives the fruit immediately. Those whose sadhana is full of desires receive the fruits according to the nature of their sadhana. The Lord of life helps those who have successfully surrendered themselves to attain the highest goal. The Supreme Lord Maheshwara is kind and merciful, and always graces his devotees by fulfilling their desires. The law of predestiny loses its power for the sadhaka. It is known that in the case of the great devotee Markandeya, the Lord blessed him with a rare boon. Let me explain the reason. Karmic laws are inevitable, but a fortunate few remain unaffected by these laws because their karmas are already exhausted. Life on this platform cannot be sustained without prana. One can escape from the karma of his past life by mastering the highly evolved practices of pranayam. Those who are not spiritually oriented and do not practice are tossed inevitably by prarabdha, the past karmas that have started producing their fruits. This is the law of karma. Niyati, the power of law, is a power of the Lord, and its real nature is sankalp, firm determination. The Lord is truth and firm determination. Therefore, the law cannot be dissolved. This law is not applicable to the fortunate few or to exceptional devotees. This aspect of the law is like a bridge for devotees. Therefore, dismiss polemics. Take refuge in Maheshwara. He will help you attain the highest good. In the ladder of attainment, bliss is the final rung, and nothing else is worthwhile. O Parshuram, after listening to his wife Hemachura, was delighted and continued his queries. Darling, please describe the nature of this Maheshwara, who is the ultimate refuge, the one who is the doer of all, absolutely self-existent, and the controller of the entire universe, is known by various names. Devotees call him Vishnu, Shiva, Ganesha, Surya, Narsimha, Buddha, Sugata, Arhata, Vasudev, Prana, Soma, Agni, Karma, Pradhan, Anu, and many other names. The cause of the universe is described in various ways. Can you tell me where and how God-oriented buddhi is used? I'm sure that you know everything because the great sage Vyagrapada, your godfather, was the knower of all, and he has taught you everything. That is why, being a woman, you have profound knowledge, darling. You're as sweet as nectar, and your teachings are helpful. Tell me the secrets, for I am a devotee. After being asked by her husband, Hemalekha happily said, Lord, listen, I will explain about God, the one from whom the world springs, who is responsible for the manifestation of the world, and where it rests, in the end, is God. The same is called Shiva, Brahma, Surya, and Chandra. In all names and all forms, God alone is seen. He is beyond forms and the names of Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Listen attentively. Now I reveal a great secret. Saivites consider the five-faced and three-eyed Shiva to be the creator of the universe. Pay attention, I will tell you. If the primal cause of the universe has five faces and three eyes, then that being, which has a form, is subject to change, death, and decay. Mind functions in dreams without the help of the physical body to express its dormant desires. This indicates that a body is an instrument of the individual soul. Human beings need instruments to express themselves because of their limitations, whereas the creator of the universe, being perfect in itself, does not need any aid. This means that God is not any particular person. Only God is sovereign, and without the aid of any other, has manifested the world. Therefore, it is concluded that God is never embodied in any form. Otherwise, he would depend on some sort of instrument in order to create the world. The universe was never created, but was manifested. All these forms of the world have been manifested by him, yet he is beyond all names and forms. God, being omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, is the sovereign power without a second. God cannot be perceived. He projects the universe. The ignorant remain confused about formless absolute reality. In their ecstasy, they visualize the Supreme in different forms. According to the nature of their devotion, God assumes various forms and fulfills their desires, though he is formless, absolute, and pure consciousness. Consciousness is transcendental and is beyond all three states of mind, waking, dreaming, and sleeping, and is named Tripura. Through this universe is inseparable from her. It appears to be separate and the same as Vishnu and Shiva. Therefore, you should not consider them different. They are one and the same. The entire universe is a reflection of pure consciousness. Consciousness is non-dual. Therefore, there is nothing superior or inferior. It is in respect to lower states or forms of consciousness that people consider some forms of God to be more significant than the others. They are but projections of the human mind. Therefore, a wise man should worship or meditate only on the absolute state of consciousness beyond names and forms. However, those who are not capable of comprehending the absolute should selflessly and with full dedication worship God in any name or form that is pleasing to them. Even if one is born 1,000,000 times, he will not find another way. So, this is how She describes the nature of the Absolute being both formless and with form. The dialogue continues between sage Hemalekha and Hemachuda. After learning the nature of the great goddess Tripura, Hemachuda's mind became calm. Then he studied with the learned masters, from whom he understood the Saguna form of the goddess, the form that has attributes. Blessed with the grace of Maheshwara, the great Lord, he began to practice meditation on the Tripura with full determination and dedication. After several months of worship, grace dawned in him, and his outward oriented mind one pointedly turned inwards. Therefore, his mind became indifferent to pleasures. This is not possible without the grace of God. When the seeker's mind is totally engrossed in the search for truth, then it becomes a means of liberation. O Parshuram, countless may be the methods a seeker uses, but he will fail if the correct method for attaining truth is not applied. Some time later, he went to meet his wife. His mind was completely absorbed in the search for truth. When Hemachuda saw his wife, his mind was inspired to attain truth. When his wife saw him coming, she welcomed him and offered him a seat respectfully. Reverentially, she washed his feet, prostrated in front of him, and spoke gently. O Lord, I have not seen you for a long time. Are you healthy? Is your body prone to sickness? How are you? You have not thought about me for a long time. You used to say that you could not spend even one day without seeing me. How did you spend your time without me? I know you would not go anywhere else without asking me, even in a dream. You would always say that a single moment without my company was like thousands of years. Please tell me what has happened. How did you spend your nights without me? With these remarks, she embraced him. In spite of her embrace, Hemachuda did not feel any excitement. He told her, Sweetheart, you should not be attached to me like this. I know you now. You have no cause to worry because you know the reality beyond cause and effect. You are the embodiment of patience. How can you be deluded? Please explain the story of your life to me. Who is your mother? Who were your maidservant and her husband? Who were her sons? Please tell me. When did I come in contact with them? I do not think I understood your story correctly. Yet, I cannot believe that it was a lie. Surely you were conveying some message symbolically. Please explain to me clearly so that I can understand it properly. I am happy with you, but please remove the doubt from my heart. Hearing these words, Hemalekha's face glowed. She felt that through the grace of the Supreme Being, the prince's mind had become purified. Through the grace of the divine force, he had patiently withdrawn his mind from the worldly objects. His virtuous deeds were beginning to bear fruit. Recognizing that the time for his self-realization was very near, Hemalekha decided to impart more spiritual wisdom. She said, Through the grace of the Lord, your good fortune has arisen. Without good karma, no one experiences indifference to material objects. This is the first symptom of the grace of the Lord. The second symptom is becoming aware of the pettiness of the charms of the world through discrimination. Now I will explain the journey of the self, which I described to you before. Pure consciousness is my mother. The intellect is my maidservant. Ignorance, charms, and distracts the intellect, and is the great enemy of the faculty of discrimination. The power of ignorance is immense and can delude anyone. Great attachment is the child of ignorance, which had an unsteady son called mind. His wife is imagination. He has 5 sons, the 5 senses: hearing, taste, sight, touch, and smell. Sense gratifications become their samskara. They dwell in the sense organs. Being embroiled with sensory objects becomes the habit of the mind. The mind carries those objects back to its own abode to enjoy them in dreams. Expectations, the unstable gluten, is the sister of imagination. She produces anger and greed. Their dwelling place is the body, the city of life. Prana and mind are twin laws of life and function in tandem. Without knowing the highest purpose of life, this world becomes the source of pain and confusion for the human being. The highest attainment in which the mind, with all its faculties, attain a state of tranquility is called samadhi. My admission into the inner chamber of my being is emancipation. Thus, I have explained the story of my life, and your story is the same. May you be absorbed in samadhi and attain the highest good. So with this ends the chapter 8, in which Hemalekha explains her parable to Hemachura. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat.